life, not the money and not the possessions, but our karmic imprints and habits. Yeah. So, yeah, Miri?
I think it's I find it's not that thing because I see the changes in me while it's not connected really with in which country you live, but who you are. And because I see the changes in me, like by paying taxes, and because you don't have to. It's like I remember when I studied criminology. It's the way that people who don't go by the law, one of the reasons is because they can give to poor people, even people that are not paying, that are not ethical. They have their own decisions, but it's not like this because it depends. I'm not talking about myself because I have places that I'm not by the rule, but I feel better when I do something that I don't like to do because it's by the law. And most of the laws nobody sees when I do them, or I don't get caught in red light or in something like this. So I think it's a personal.
Yeah.
It's between one.
That's what I'm saying. It's a personal.
And when we find
decision.
Excuses why not to do, we can find.
Oh, you can always find something that, and it sounds really
in
nice.
Any country, and it doesn't matter if the government is like this or like that, because this is changing all the time.
Exactly. But it's difficult. It's really difficult to have pure ethical conduct. But one of the reasons why you are sitting here, talk about this on Saturday, is Buddhist view, okay? Don't have to accept it. Is you have had a life where you had perfect ethical conduct. Otherwise you would not be sitting here being able to listen to these teachings, having interest in them, and some of you coming back weekend after weekend, after year after year after year. Need a lot of positive karma, and in order to have a human body, because we can also be born with another body, again, Buddhist view, we'll talk about it, don't have to accept it, is ethical conduct. Not being a non-harming person. And the list, and this is why this list of the 10 non-virtuous actions is so clear. It's nothing complicated. And why is this, why is that list so clear? Why is that negative karma? Because our subtle mind, or you can call it our consciousness, knows that it's negative to, for example, steal. Because if somebody steals from you, even if it's something that is totally insignificant, it makes you suffer. Unless it's something that you really wanted to get rid of. Like me the other day, somebody stole my wallet, and it was quite new. I had bought it, but I didn't like it because it was too big. So I thought, oh, good thing, then that's gone. So maybe it's also because of the training that I see it in people who do spiritual practices. When something negative happens to them, immediately they start to see the good side of it, naturally. And then it's still unpleasant because you have to get all your cards back and it costs money and blah blah and time and all this. But I was okay. I had no emotional reaction, and it was in the full bus in Switzerland, so I felt something and I didn't react, and I maybe saw the person going out of the bus, but then I thought, what am I going to call out? And she probably has passed it on to somebody else already, so I thought, oh, well, just let it go. It was very little in it because I had my bags full of soap, actually, for the altar, so there was very little cash. It was just the cards. But soon enough, I phoned the bank. Because of the bank card, they already tried to get money out of the machine, but they couldn't because they didn't know the code. So sometimes I feel sorry for these people who have to earn their living like this, because imagine when she gets caught and all the anger they get and all that. And so just the gratitude that I can survive, even though I don't have a salary and all this, I can survive on the kindness of others who support me, which is like, wow. so it's really good. And then if somebody steals, well, also karma coming back. As I said before, I stole money when I was young, so what am I complaining about now when somebody's stealing my wallet? We're going to, oh, somebody stole my wallet, they shouldn't do it, I'm a nun, blah, 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 poor thing. Oh, she gets double karma because I'm a nun. It's like, no, there's, you know. I was careful enough to just have it in the pocket here, and the bus was really chock-a-block full. And then when I called for the identity card, she said, which bus was it? I said, number 10. She said, oh yeah, so many things get stolen on that bus, because it's always full. So,
Because what?
huh?
Because
It's always full. You know, there's so many people on that bus. So yeah, so sometimes we don't pay enough attention to our behavior. Yeah? We settle soon enough, and they're always good enough, because we're not going around killing people and robbing banks and getting other people's partners. We're not doing that, but still, sometimes, especially with the speech also, and all this. So this is why it's also good to do purification from time to time. But the thing is, you see, the imprints that we create now, they're just imprints. They're like little seeds, potentials that are deposited on the mind stream, so we don't feel them. And the results come much later when we don't know what we've done. This is when we'll talk about karma, then how complex karma is. So yeah, don't know about the tax thing. Yeah. Yeah. One needs a push to kind of go, okay, I'll declare that, that's okay. Wouldn't it be nice if everybody would declare the tax? We can start. We can be the first one to do it. But I don't know what the consequences are in Switzerland or in Israel. Like I had a woman on the course once, and she was. We talked about karma, and we also talked about death. And she all of a sudden she started crying, and she couldn't stop crying. So I thought somebody had died in her family recently, because that's how people react. When we talk about death and dying, if nobody close to you has died, everybody is very calm and goes, yeah, no problem, I know I died. Also my family will die. But if somebody has just recently died, then you notice what kind of a big event that is. Yeah, even when people are very old and they go. So I thought maybe it's a problem with death, and so I went to see her in the break, and she said, no, it's about karma. So I said, what? So she was living in a place where she never got the bill for the gas for years. They forgot. So she got gas, like gas to cook. Mm-hmm. So not for the car. So they never reacted, and she calculated, if I have to pay now all these years, my kids cannot study. So she didn't know what to do. Yeah, so she couldn't sleep anymore. She didn't know what to do. She felt really, really bad. So the money that she saved really was not worthwhile. But at the beginning, it sounds quite nice. Well, wow, no gas bill coming, so we can just take. And all of a sudden, she started to realize, what if they find out? So I said, well, at least write them a letter without putting your name on it, and ask what would happen if she now would say that she never gets the gas bill. So if they say, okay, if you pay from now on, then that will be fine, which they did. Yeah. They really honored her honesty and said, okay, we leave the other years, but you pay from now on. So sometimes the truth is quite good, and they talk about the power of the truth. So was it luck? Was it coincidence that they said, yes, fine, we're happy that you're telling us now, and they honored that? I don't know. It was in England.
In England?
Yeah, it was in England. So it could happen in England. You don't have to pay the gas. So better you go and phone up and say, oi, I didn't get the bill. Can you please send it? Yeah, it's funny how righteous we get when nobody is asking for the money that we need to pay. We're kind of. But if somebody is not sending what we ordered and we already paid with the credit card, then it's like immediate reaction, isn't it? It's the same with ethical conduct. Our expectations for the ethical conduct of others are very, very high. They should not lie to me, they should not cheat me, they should be kind to me, they should not gossip about me, and this, no. And we get upset if they do. But then when we do, Kind of, I did it because this and this and this is this. Yeah. So it's good to put your own standard, but then also, please, if your standard is a bit low, then lower the standard of others also, because otherwise it's not fair. Yeah. So, okay. So I think for tonight, I mean, that's okay for an introduction, is it? Yeah. You might have noticed I'm not as structured as Glenn at all. So I hope you didn't expect a female Glenn coming.